I was reflecting this week, and what I realized, especially after the women's forum this past Thursday, we had an amazing women's meeting last Thursday. It was deep. You missing a lesson, try to be cute. It was really deep. And the ladies are really working on themselves. And then, but what I realized, not just from that, but from the phone calls on the show, the counseling and everything, when I say that all thoughts are all lies all the time, I find that most people don't believe that. And the reason I know they don't believe that is because they go back into their same situations all the time. Their mind tell, even if it's not the same situation, the thoughts tell them to create a new situation, that situation is better, and the people believe it, and they do it. None of your thoughts are yours at any point, anytime. All thoughts are lies. And what you don't know, because if you knew this, you would be free just like that. But what you don't know is that all thoughts are demonic, evil thoughts. There's no love, there's no peace, there's nothing but evil, demonic thoughts. All of them. Even those that seem to be right, they're still demonic. And what you have done, and I done before I woke up, is that you have taken those thoughts and you made an identity from them. And you call it you. And because you call it you, it's hard for you to let it go because you think you are the thoughts. And you're so identified with them, not knowing that they're not you. But they're demonic. They're evil. And if you were to really, and some of you are waking up, maybe all of you are working on it for sure. If you were to wake up and see that you are evil, you're going to get a little light from God will come, and that little light will shine on the darkness of those thoughts, which are demonic. They're evil. And then that little light, if you stay with it, and don't give up and don't let anyone talk you out of it, that little light will cause you to see eventually that those are demonic thoughts. They're not yours. The thoughts, if you really think about how you act and how you think and how you feel, you wouldn't do this to yourself if they were your thoughts. You will always create nothing but happy, good thoughts. You would never get in trouble. You would never create loneliness or fear or jealousy or envy or strife or false happiness or anything if you were in charge of those thoughts and if they were true. But they're not true. All the thoughts are all lies all the time. There's no such thing. And they're all demonic. They're all evil. That's why they bring you different feelings and different doubts. And you identify with it because you're afraid not to have any identity at all. You gotta make up some form of identity because it gives you a false sense of life. It makes you feel that you exist. It makes you feel important. And the interesting thing about it, God tells you that your thoughts are not my thoughts are not yours, and to bring all thoughts into captivity. But you don't do that. You live by them, and you call them you, and you create one thought after another one. You become, let's say you're not a lawyer yet, and you go to law school, you get your little degree. The first thing you do, you tell everybody, I'm a lawyer. And now you walk around thinking you're a lawyer. And you start to act like a lawyer, which you've been trained. Or you tell yourself, I'm weak. I'm weak. I'm a weak person. And then you start acting weak because you believe that's who you really are, this weak person. And when you start acting weak, you're fighting to try to be strong, and then you get a little what you think is strength. Now you're thinking of yourself as being strong. And then you have to work really hard to try to stay strong because that you have identified with that. And you don't know that that those are evil spirits working in your mind and emotion. I promise you they're evil. All thoughts are all lies all the time. The thoughts tell you, oh, my wife don't love me. Or with the ladies, my husband don't love me. Now you feel unloved. And then you work overtime to try to make the man or the woman say, I love you. You never tell me you love me. And there's nobody there to love or need love or even want love. But you listen to these thoughts and they're all demonic. And they are making you, because you don't know it, they tell you to identify with them. And so you're constantly, just think about how many identities y'all have. You have all kind of identity. And you think they're real and they're not. Even though they don't work for you, you still believe they're real. And you think that, and because the preachers and others have helped you to think this, you think that you're a sinner. Oh, I'm a guilty sinner. I got to get saved. And you go, you try hard to get saved. And then you go down to the front of the church and the preacher tell you, all you got to do is believe in Jesus. And then you say, yes, I believe in Jesus. And you cry, yeah, I believe in Jesus. And now the church applaud and she or he believe in Jesus. Now you walk around saying and thinking you believe in Jesus, and it's just a thought. You believe in Jesus, and then you go home and you cry. It's just another false identity you have picked up. It's crazy. All thoughts are wicked, evil, demonic thoughts, all of them. The ones that pick you up and let you down. The ones that tell you to do this and do that. But you think they're yours, and you won't stay with the little light. A little bit of light will bring you to know this. And so you don't trust the light, you trust the darkness. And you're stumbling around in your imagination in darkness and making a fool of yourself. Because you're listening to darkness. You won't listen to the light. You listen to the darkness. And then when you do something crazy, you make up an excuse or you blame someone for your craziness. And it's not you doing that. The thoughts do it for you. They make up excuses for you. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right. You won't follow the light. Some of you are starting to. But God want to give you his mindset. And he does have a mind that you can live with. You can be one with him, right? Think like him, be with him. But that's not going to happen. You can hang it up. It's not going to happen until you let all of your identities go. Until you stop believing in the darkness of in thoughts. All thoughts are lies about anything. And the reason you have to stop believing in them because you can't serve two gods. You can only serve one, even if you try. You can only serve one. And as long as you believe these demonic thoughts, you're never going to believe in God. You might as well hang it up. You're never going to believe in him because you believe evil. You can't serve both. And all human beings, until they start to wake up and stay with it, they are serving evil by believing those thoughts. Those thoughts are wicked. Those thoughts make you want to get revenge against others. Think about that. Those demonic thoughts tell you to be angry. Somebody just looked at you the wrong way. Be angry. Curse them out. Someone just called you the nigger rah-rah word. Get mad, especially if it's white. Knock them out. Why do you care what people call you? That doesn't even make sense. It's just a word. But because you serve demonic thoughts, you believe in evil, you believe it, and you think it's happening to you because that's your identity. As long as you believe in thoughts, you're going to believe in identities, and you're never going to know God. You're going to think about Him. You're going to pray about Him. You got all that stuff, but just thinking about God is just a word. It's just an idea. When you truly let go of these false identity, all your thoughts about God will disappear. Really, you will hardly think about God. They will disappear. Because it's crazy that you think about God. Think about that. You think about God. What the? And then you don't know. God said that in Him there is no thinking. It's a knowing. It's not a thinking. But you heard about God, so you think about God. And then you think about God. Now you think you're better than the other people, so you judge people because they're not doing what you think they should do because you think about God. And you have this false morality that you've been trying to live up to, and it doesn't work. Nobody, the whole world trying to be moral. Ain't nobody moral. Even the Pope, nobody moral. Nobody can live up to that. You've been lied to. You've been lied to by your parents, your friends, your church, and especially the mind. And so you got to let, if you want to be free, and you can really, if you let all of your identities go right now and never respond in any form or fashion to another thought, you can be free right now. Right now, because you won't be obeying the demons. The demons, I can call somebody up here to talk right now, and the first thing the demons say, oh God, somebody's going to look at you. And you go, oh Lord, I'm not coming up there. Someone will be looking at me. You worship the demons. Because without thoughts, you can't have fear. There's no shyness. There's no worry. You are everything when you don't live in your imagination, when you don't have thought. You are everything. You're the whole universe. But you don't know it because you believe thoughts. You worship the demons. And you think that God is holding something against you. Can you get any crazier than that? Why would God hold anything against you? That's not love. And so you think God holds things against you, so you treat others the way that you think God is treating you. And anybody else felt guilty about anything? Let me just see the hand. Anybody else ever felt guilty about anything? Okay. And none of you ever felt guilt, right? Am I right? Yeah. How about the young lady in the shades in the back? You ever felt guilty about anything?
I do, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Sure.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Speaking to the mic. No, just that one question. Have you felt guilty about anything?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. Everybody felt. Only stupid people feel guilty. Sorry, lady. Everybody feels guilty, so you're not alone. But why you feel guilty about anything? Think about that. That's dumb. But you think it's fine because that's who you are. You're a guilty person. And you say, I'm a guilty person. Now you have created another identity, and you think God is judging you, not knowing the demons convince you that you're wrong, you're guilty. You're supposed to be a Christian. You're supposed to be this. And the demon created the guilt, but you think you created the guilt, and now you walk around feeling guilty. And God is like, what the? And there's no such thing as guilt. That's an illusion. But in that darkness, we do stupid stuff to ourselves. Crazy stuff, right? But that's not you that's doing that. but you do it so that you can create another identity for yourself. Oh, I'm a guilty person. And then you walk around telling everybody, your friends and your family members, oh, I beat my wife today, I'm so guilty. Oh, I feel so bad. And then they're like, yeah, I know what you mean, I beat mine too. And so now you got two guilty people with false identities. Whereas if you just saw that you shouldn't have done it and what would drive you to do it, you would feel no guilt and you'll be free from it and you would never do it again. But because you're creating an identity, a false identity of being guilty for beating them, or they beating you, because women beat men nowadays, you hold on to the identity and you think God is judging you. And you cry out to God, oh God, please forgive me. I can't believe I did that. You're taking credit for demonic work. You're working for the devil. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. You are not your thoughts, and God has nothing to do with those thoughts at all. Zero. And God is not judging you for anything that you ever have done, ever will do, or is doing. You think that because you've been lied to that God is, and He's not. God doesn't judge, He forgives. Because God knows that it's not you. Something else is driving you. You just don't know it. You think it's you. And then you cry. But all thoughts are lies. All of them. The ones that make you feel good. The ones that make you think you're friends with someone. Because if you know that you're friends with someone as long as you agree with them or they'll agree with you. The moment disagreement comes, you become a quick enemy. A quick enemy just like that. What happened to the friendship? Or there are people who love doing things for other people. So I'm like, why you do so much for other people? Oh, especially women. Oh, that's just my nature. I'm a giver. I just love to help. Women got that bad. That's just the way I create. I love to help. I just go everywhere and just help everybody. I feed the hunger. I babysit for my friends. I do this. And then as soon as something goes wrong and people don't help you, you be like, I did all that for y'all. I'm such a nice person. I help. I did all this. You won't help me? Now you're mad. And you won't pause for a moment and say, okay, if my giving was sincere, why am I mad because they're not giving back? And why do I have to remind them, I did this for you? Why, if it was real? I want to encourage you, if you want to be free, and you can, you got to know, remember, that all thoughts are evil. There's no such thing as a good thought or a true thought. That all thoughts are evil and destructive, and they're not yours. And you got to come into the light and love the light more than you love the darkness, and the light will destroy them. Those are demonic demons that made a home in you. That made a home in you. When she's crying, she's lying, because that's not her crying. Those are demonic spirits telling her how bad you are, or you need love, and then you cry, and then you want somebody to come along and say, oh, why are you crying? Don't cry. You are not crying. The demons are crying in you that you have identified with. You got to let thoughts go if you want to. You got to let thoughts go so that identities would disappear. You want to be whole. You want to be one with no identities at all. Stop adding these things unto you. You don't know anything about God. If God walked in this building right now, you'd go, who is that? You'd get mad at him. And he better not be a Jew. Oh, Lord. And he better not be white. The blacks will get mad. And he better not be black. The whites will get mad. Because you got these all ideas. You're not supposed to be walking around thinking about God. A thought about God is just a thought about God. It does you no good. It just gives you another false identity. I'm a Christian. Jesse, being a Christian, how should I act? What do you mean? You don't want to be a Christian. You don't want to be anything. So I want to encourage you, come to the light, and that light will grow, and you will stop fumbling around, falling around in darkness. Your whole life, the condition that you're in today is because you've been listening to thoughts. And every decision that you've ever made has always been wrong, and it requires you making another decision. You're supposed to live life. Real life is not making decisions. Real life is not doing, well, what if? What if I get this job and this should happen and that happen or that happen? You're not supposed to be double-minded, but you live in those imaginations. You're double-minded about everything. You have never made a decision, folks, and you never will. It's impossible. You couldn't make a decision if you wanted to. That's why you marry and date the wrong people. You decide that person's so nice to me, they smile at me. Oh, they did this for me, that's going to be a nice husband. Oh, he brought me some flowers. I'm sure going to marry this one. Or the man say, oh, she's so beautiful. Look at her, she's just so beautiful. And then she look around and smile at him. Oh, look, she's smiling at me. I got to date her. That's a good one. Or they say, she's a Christian. They meet a Christian woman, and you don't know you're walking right into the bosom of the devil. Jesse, I met this good old Christian woman at church. Should I marry her? I'm like, no, that's the devil. The fact she's saying she's a Christian, unless she's saying it consciously, just to compensate. We got to use words to compensate. Compensate. Say, whatever. He black. But you're supposed to be conscious. You're supposed to have one mind. You were created to do that. Be conscious. God said to have his mind. And you have God's mind by staying present at all times, not going into the darkness of your imagination. Just because somebody's nice to you, that doesn't mean that's a good person. Really. Just because somebody, whatever, agrees with you, that doesn't make them a good person. You can bank on that. The devil tell you that's a good person, you say, okay. And then you start saying, that's a good person. Your mind is wicked. Your mind is of the devil. Your thoughts are not your own. You can't make a right thought. No kind of way. Good ones or bad one. All right? So I'm telling you this because I know some of you want the truth. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want the truth. Unless somebody brought you here, you didn't know where you were going. That happens sometimes. But you could be free, but you got to let go. You can be free. You got to let go of everything you think you are, and you think you want, and you think this. You got to stop thinking. And let the light shine. And let me tell you this, then I take your hand. In this journey that I'm telling you about, you don't need to be strong. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to be weak. You don't need to have faith. You don't need anything. You just need to come as you are. You don't need anything. So don't try to be, I tell people, go and forgive your mama. And that's the hardest thing in the world for most people, to go and forgive their mother, adults, right? And then they say, okay, I'll do it when I get some courage. Well, you're never going to do it. Because you got to go as you are and forgive. You can't build up courage and then forgive. That doesn't even make sense, but that's what the thoughts tell you. You got to, so you can come into the light as you are. Whatever you are. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how long, whatever you did, how long ago you did it, what even was this morning. You're free from it. Really. And I promise you, God is not judging you for anything. And once you really come out of thoughts, as I'm telling you to, you should see here, Miss, oh, you going to the bathroom? She goes to the bathroom first. Everybody look at the lady going to the bathroom. No, I'm playing. He's not judging you for anything. And so, but in the thought, they judge you and you agree with it. Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You say out loud, you say it to yourself, I'm wrong, I feel so bad. I can't believe I did that. And you hold on to it for dear life for the rest of 100 years go by, you still remember what happened 100 years ago. It's like women. Sorry, ladies. Well, not really sorry, but this is why a man should never, ever, 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 but never tell a woman his issues. Never. Always show strength toward with the woman, right? She asks you, how you doing? Oh, hey, honey, how you doing? I really love you. How was your day? Now she set you up to tell her everything. And then your ego, you believe that she loves you and that she cares. And you tell her everything, and 50 years go by, she'll remind you of it. How you gonna tell me what to do? Remember 50 years ago you stole the money bank? And you like, 50 years, what happened? And she remembered like it happened that morning. You're not, because she lives in her imagination, you're not supposed to be doing this if you want to be free. And you can be free right now. And one other quick thing, think about this. Can you get any dumber than to get angry? Angry people, dumb people. Frustrated, angry, revengeful. What sense does it make to get angry at anyone about anything? Think about that. You know you got to be crazy. It doesn't make sense to be upset and frustrated. Think about that. Can you get it? Resentful. They love being resentful. What sense does it make to get angry? At any time, about anything, for any reason. What sense does that make?